I bet you guys weren't expecting a video from me, but we're back. For the better of a year, I have not posted anything. Life has just been getting really crazy. A lot of things going on. Work, life, cars. I ordered a lot of parts for the Alfa Romeo. A lot of stuff is worn and needs to be replaced. A lot of maintenance items need to be done. The parts that we have ordered are all laid out here on the table. I ordered new lowering springs. The lowering springs on that car are a 1-inch drop from stock. I wanted just a little bit lower and a little bit of a sportier feel. So these are a 1/2 inch lower than those current ones, and they're a little bit stiffer. We've got some new tie rod ends. The tie rod ends that we have on the car currently are completely blown out. They're really asking to be changed. Some new brake shoes for the e-brake, some new brake pads. We got some new shocks, a new speedo cable because that broke. Got some new rotors. I'm not sure if we're going to be replacing the rotors because when I went to go take a look and see what was clunking, I took a look at the rotors and they look perfectly fine. I just picked up a set just in case if I need to change them. I will be measuring them with the calipers just to make sure that we are within spec. Got some new shocks. These are really cool. These are adjustable. So with regular coilovers, let's say with the Nissan, you would adjust it on the top right over here, but these are a slightly different style. With this style, you'd have to take the bushing out and the plastic collar, and they'll be right in here. So the way it sits, normally from factory, is compressed like that. And then, so you have to pull it apart, take the rubber bushing out, okay, and the plastic washer out, push it all the way down, okay, and you're gonna feel a little notch that you can adjust. So if you go all the way left, that means it's on the softest setting. Now, if you turn it to the right a couple of times, you'll be getting stiffer. Now, if you go the other way, I'm able to pull this out a lot easier and it'll give you a smoother ride. Honestly, all the Alfa guys run these and they say that they are absolutely awesome to have. I got a steering box rebuild kit. Now, mine is leaking a little bit and we're gonna need to seal that back up. We got some bushings for the top control arm, and my caster arm bushing is absolutely obliterated, so we need to change that out. But for the most part, that is all of our parts, and we got them all from Classic Alfa. They just have every single part that you could possibly need to either restore or upgrade your Alfa. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that we got a new fuse box cover because I never had that. Other parts that I forgot to mention. I got a new shift knob. New shift knob, it's got the 4-leaf clover on it. This thing is awesome. It's billet aluminum. I think it'll look really nice in the car. And to match it up, I got the billet aluminum handbrake. So let's pull this hubcap off. I absolutely hate these hubcaps, and I absolutely hate these wheels too. The hubcaps are really a pain in the ass to pull off. Like once they're on, they're on. Oh, also, it's not supposed to do that. They're just held in like that. That's how they did back in the day. All right, guys, so welcome to the front passenger side of the Alfa 105 Spider. Top control arm there. We have the caster arm over there. Shock and tie rod. Nothing's upgraded really. The shocks are red Coney shocks, and I'm pretty sure that these are not adjustable. Right off the rip, we know that the tie rod ends are pretty bad. This is how you check your tie rod ends, is basically you go left and right, and if it wobbles like that, actually the inner one is bad, not the outer one, the inner one. All right, well, I messed up. I ordered the wrong parts. I thought it was the outer tie rod end, but it's actually the inner tie rod end. That was bad. And plus, honestly, I kind of want to do the shocks and springs, so that was kind of pointless to rip that apart. But I guess we can do shift knob. This is the old one. It's actually original. That's what my dad said. He said this is original to the car. But as you can see, it's got some really bad cracks, a lot of wear. Let me yank this off. Ugh. All right, there we go, guys. This thing is ancient, but I don't even know what kind of a look they were going for. It's like, it looks like a bone. It looks like a piece of a bone. I like that. Let me show you. Look at that. Pretty freaking cool. I like this one. This is a nice shift knob. All right, so it is the following week, and what I thought was the incorrect ball joint turned out to be the correct ball joint. So I ordered the other ball joints that I thought were the correct ones, and they're here now. So might as well do that too. We'll see. But I'm going to take down the tie rod end, which is right here, and I'm going to replace that one right there. I'm going to inspect this one and see if it needs replacing. I don't know which ball joint is the correct one. Seems like this end here, the shoulder on the new one is a little shorter than the one that I have, and the one that I thought was the correct part is super short compared to that one there. So I'm just not sure. I think that I'm gonna go with this one and see how that works out, and hopefully this works. This was the bad ball joint that needed to get replaced. Now, I ordered this ball joint. It came in a set, okay? So it's this one and that one. Now, the first one I took out of the box was this one, and I put it on, and it wasn't threading in. And I was scratching my head and wondering why. Also, before that, I also thought that I ordered the wrong ball joint, but this is for like the inner track rod, and this is for the outer track rod. So, I definitely had a blonde chick moment. With all that now set aside, we have now figured out our dilemma. We can now finish putting in ball joints. Since we're on this side already, we're gonna replace the shocks and get the spring out, fix this pretty freaking shot, as you guys can see. Might as well do the brakes as well too. Check that out, guys. Oh gosh, that is bad. Look at how much that moves. Let's get that out. The new one has this rubber bushing, and there's no like metal collar. So I think I could just take a flathead and pry this thing out. I'm gonna try that method and see how it goes. All right, guys, so it's not seeming so simple as I thought it was gonna be. Here's what we gotta do. I gotta take this arm out. And we're gonna have to put this through the press. It is super duper slow, this process. Like, I can barely get a full turn out of the ratchet in this small little space. All right, boys, so it's out. This is what the upper control arm looks like on an Alfa 105 Spider. Okay, so this is how I got my whole contraption set up. I have a socket on the bottom because this arm is not on a level plane, so if you were to put it on a flat surface, you wouldn't be able to press the bushing out straight. So got the socket underneath it, and I got a socket on top. That's the inner bushing. So this is the outer, and this is the inner. And we're gonna push it, and hopefully it comes out. All right, guys, so after some heat and the correct socket size, it's now pushing out. So as you guys can see, I'm going down, and that collar's coming out. So we're in good shape. So now with the new bushing, we're gonna put some silicone paste on it, and we're gonna press it back into this hole here with the press. Okay guys, for a small Italian car, you'd think this would be easy. After plenty of research on how to take off the springs on this car, which you would think would be quite simple and like any other car, actually isn't the case. And you actually need a spring compressor, special tool for these bucket style springs, which I had no idea about. But you need a special spring compressor. It's not a regular spring compressor. But I went on the forums, and what they use is just threaded rod. So I got a carriage bolt from my local hardware store, and I'm gonna use two of these to thread the bucket, this bucket, and that spring goes on top, back into place. Before we go ahead and put this back together, I think that we should put the upper control arm back in, get this shock out of the way, so that way we don't have to support the rotor anymore on a jack stand. We can get this out of the way and have some more room. All right, so we got everything pretty much buttoned up. Top control arm, caster arm. We got our old shock out, and surprisingly enough, it's actually adjustable. Leads me to believe that these are red Coney shocks. Right there, you can see a little bit of the red. And when you push it down and twist, just like these, you can adjust the dampening. But I do want to throw in the yellow ones because it is nice to have fresh new parts in a car. And plus, I think the yellow will look sick underneath here, even though you're not going to see it. It's still pretty cool. We're all back together. We got some nice Coney shocks in. It's a new ball joint. It's got a new ball joint, guys. It's got a new ball joint, new spring. Let's toss the wheel back on. We are much lower now. Before, the ride height was up about here, about a half an inch higher. That is such a good ride height. I love that. All right, so it's a new day and we're ready to get right to it. Got the car jacked up. I actually pulled it off that side of the garage and moved it over here. And when I did that, I actually noticed a big difference in the steering feel when I was moving it. Obviously, because we changed those bushings that were absolutely clapped out, and hence we have a really good feel in the steering wheel. Something to also note is the ride height on the passenger side actually dropped overnight. So we actually went down half an inch compared to the driver's side and the old setup on this side. So that's super awesome. I'm very excited about that. Now we're gonna get to it on the other side. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing very well. We just took the rod end out and we're replacing the ball joints. Nick is here and he's having a great time.
You wanna put your rod in my end?
Yes. So Nick's here helping me. We're gonna be doing the rear springs as soon as I get my rod end in. Well, he's gonna do the rear springs. I'm gonna do the front bucket spring. All right, so now I'm gonna get my rod end in, and then you're gonna take the boys and you're gonna do the rear.
Look at that sunset. Nothing like working with a view. Am I right, guys?
There you go.
Boy, really got the doohickey off this thing.
Bro, these things are on. These are the worst things to take off. If you're on the side of the road, have fun trying to get this off.
Yeah, I've been looking for my plate set. Can I have that? I'm trying to grill some steak.
There you go.
Thanks, bro. Sarah, can I have the tool to take off the lug? If he puts this whole clip in, I'm going to be so angry. All right, guys, here I'm going to show you how to install lowering springs. I have never been more confused in my whole life. What we got going on here, guys, is we got a through bolt through the rear trailing arm. On the end of that, we have your rear sway bar bolted on it. So I just pop this nut off. I'm going to slide this sway bar off a little bit, loosen this bolt, and everything should let free.
Someone is very upset at themselves. I told him to look it up before he started the job. And guess what? You messed up.
What I was doing before was not correct. Basically what you have to do is jack up this rear trailing arm assembly here with the diff and the carrier. You just got to unbolt two little nuts on the end of the shocks, lower the assembly, and take the springs out, put them back in, and you put them back up. Bruno is desperately trying to figure out and finish this front left corner here, the last one. And you got anything to say, buddy, besides death?
Everybody that owns these cars, just want you to know I absolutely hate the front sway bar end links.
I can honestly say I fucked up the rear and then looked up a video and then finished the rear, both sides, in just the time that he's been messing with sway bar end links. So I concur, they suck.
Take a look at that. We're talking hard, guys. Look at that. Boys, that's the look right there. That's money. Oh, that's so good. And the fronts? Oh, the fronts look so good. This was completely worth it. All this work, all this pain and agony that this car's put me through was completely worth it. I am so happy. Bam, guys. Let me zoom in. Oh, sheesh. Damn. This is looking so good. Oh my gosh. All right. I think it's time for me to get some sleep. This is right on the money. Exactly what I was looking for. Like, we are perfectly tucked. I think that this has got to be the hottest Alfa 105 Spider I've ever seen, because I don't see Alfa 105 Spiders all that often. And honestly, I think I'm one of very few on Long Island. So I took it out, did some adjustments. I nut and bolt checked everything, adjusted the shocks because I thought it was a little bit soft. So I just bumped it up one, and I kind of want to go take it out for a little spin. Even though I know that I have to do brakes and some other things, I think that this is a good break for me because we've been wrenching on this thing for about 2 weeks now. Just on-off work, not constant work, just on-off work. We've been working on it, and I think that I deserve a little break. I deserve to drive it. I deserve to stretch its legs. Now, it's time to clean up the Alfa and go take some photos. Luckily, we have a lot of sun, so we're gonna wash this quick, go take some photos, and hopefully we get some cool bangers. Let's see how she feels. So, like I said, after 2 weeks of working on this thing on and off, I think I deserved some time to actually go out and drive the car. So right off the bat, steering feels way better, completely better. No more clunks anymore. Used to clunk a lot up front. I should have brought my glasses. Oh well. I actually think that this car's not driving nice. Right now, it needs an alignment. So I think it's pulling to one side, like really hard. This might be a bad idea to be driving this car right now, honestly. That sucks. I was actually wanting to like get on it and rip on it a little bit, but yeah. But let's note some of the cons. We have a new billet aluminum shift knob, which feels really good in the hands. I like it, feels good. Although the toe might be off a little bit, or a lot of it, it does feel really good. The steering feels direct. I feel like it would feel a hell of a lot better if it was adjusted, of course. The suspension seems to be holding up pretty well. The adjustment that I made on the shocks, I feel like they're pretty good adjustments. I don't know for sure because I'm not getting on the car like right now because I'm not super stoked about the alignment. But we're still gonna take photos. I'm gonna go somewhere close. I'm gonna go close, somewhere close. Let me show you guys what we're working with here. Check it out. This thing looks so hot. Super nice. I love this color on this car. Silver looks amazing. Okay, really quick, I just noticed this. I wanted to see the toe, if it was in or out. It's actually not towed in or out. It's actually cambered. It's cambered. My Alfa Romeo is cambered. This car does not need camber like that. I mean, some camber's nice, but that's just a lot of camber. Oh my gosh. This car has to go to Ian, and he needs to I desperately need to get that fixed, and he needs to fix me up. I don't know, I was reflecting as I was taking photos because I haven't really told you guys much about this car. So it's got quite the history. It's been in the family for over 30 years. Now, when I was in elementary school, I was at that time able to remember the car, kind of have a remembrance of what it used to look like. How we acquired the car was my dad had a friend, his name was Enzo. And Enzo was a Ferrari tech, and he was a Ducati fanatic. He loved motorcycles, and he also loved Alfa Romeos. He had so many Alfa Romeos from the stories that my father has told me over the years. He was a very one-of-a-kind guy. He was just one of those guys that you'd love to have in your corner. Now, my dad and him were great friends, and my dad loved his Alfa Romeo. I'm not sure if he had a 105, something similar to this, or if he had like an S3. The story goes, Enzo had an Alfa Romeo, and my father wanted one just like it. So Enzo found him this Alfa Romeo. So Enzo was showing my dad a photo picture of this car, this silver car, and there's a tree in the photo. Now, both of them, my dad and Enzo, didn't even bat an eye. My dad says, okay, great, let's go check it out. And they go check it out, and what did they come to find out was there was a tree actually growing through this very car. Believe it or not, there was actually a tree growing through that very car. Now, my dad is a fabricator. He was welding for pretty much most of his life. That's how he made his money. So he came up with the bright idea of actually cutting this car in half, putting it on a tow truck, and then welding it back together. I'm not even kidding. This car was chopped in half. I can actually even show you guys a video of what it looks like underneath. He chopped the car in half right where there is a like cross member seam. So it's like a channel, and he cut right across it. And when he put it back together, he welded it and then put that channel back over it so you wouldn't even ever see that weld go straight across. And believe it or not, this car actually is really, really well put together. From how this car used to look to now, it's crazy. Honestly, it really is crazy how far this car has come. My dad chops it in half, brings it to a shop, welds it back together, and he basically just puts it into the garage, waiting for Enzo to get wrenching on it with him. But unfortunately, I don't know what year he got sick, but Enzo had gotten sick. I forgot what he had, and he couldn't work on the car with my dad. So it just kind of sat in the garage for a very long time. Now, this is where I come in, and I said, hey Dad, like, what are we gonna do with this car? Like, can we like fix it up and drive it? And he again, I'm young. I'm in elementary school. Brain is not braining at the time. So I'm asking a bunch of questions, and I'm getting answers that I'm not really fully comprehending. He goes, well, we have to fix it up, and there's no motor in it. We got to put a motor in it, and we got to do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, Dad, like, I'll get started on it. And he kind of just like, from like my remembrance, kind of just like chuckles. And I said, like, in my head, I was like, no, I'm actually going to fix this. So 8-year-old, 10-year-old me, the first thing that I ever did on this car, the first thing that I did on this car were the windshield wipers, and I installed them incorrectly. Funny enough, I actually put the left on the right and the right on the left. And I called my dad over and I said, hey Dad, look, I'm getting started on the car. And he kind of just laughs and he goes, dude, you put them on wrong. I was like, what do you mean I put them on wrong? He goes, you you flip-flop them. Like, that goes there and there, that goes over there. And I said, well, come on, let's get it put together. And he goes, it's not that easy, Bruno. So my motivation for it, unfortunately, was kind of like stomped right there to work on the car. But I was really young and I didn't quite understand. So the car sat for a very, very, very long time, up until 2016, where my dad decided to restore it, get it completely redone. But rewind, in 2008, Enzo unfortunately passed away, and all motivation for this car was lost. So just sat in the back burner, sat in the garage. And then in 2016, like I said, my dad then got it restored for his 25th anniversary with my mother. Another cool fact about this car is that Enzo actually gave my dad his 2-liter that came out of his Alfa Romeo. And what came out of his Alfa Romeo was a 2-liter turbo. When he had given the motor over to my dad, he took the turbo off and just gave him the motor. My dad says, what happened to the turbo? And Enzo said to him, he goes, if I give you the turbo, you're gonna kill yourself in that car. So no turbo. You're left with a 2-liter, leave it as that. And these cars weren't spec'd with a 2-liter. I'm pretty sure they were spec'd with like a 1350, maybe even a 1700cc motor. But this has a 2-liter in it. So it's got some more horsepower than usual, what it would come from stock. Every time I drive this car, I always think about him, because it's got his motor. It's got his own little touch on it, because he did put eyes on this car. He did touch this car a long, long time ago. So a lot of sentimental value on this car. And it's one car that I am absolutely never, ever, ever going to sell. Yeah, that's the story of this car. There's more to know about it, but that's pretty much the whole story. Car looks good. I'm happy. Needs an alignment desperately. It does need a tune-up, a valve train tune-up. It's been a great time working on this thing. Very frustrating, but I did learn a lot of new things on this car that I didn't know before. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, and in the next episode, we're gonna be doing brakes, we're gonna be doing gaskets, we're gonna be rebuilding the gearbox, the steering box. The steering box, it doesn't have power steering. Just getting it summer ready. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and share with your friends. Definitely subscribe. And one last thing before we go, I saw you guys' comments in the previous episodes. I absolutely love your positive feedback, so keep them coming. It actually really motivates me to keep making more of these videos. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.